Hey everybody, Cinis here, bringing you an Unseeded Monster Train speedrun. This is a new world record in 4 minutes and 54 seconds of in-game time. So I'm using the Sketches Shadow Siege strat again, and this is, I think I'm like 45 minutes of attempts in. And this is the worst fight possible. You can't torch out the clergymen, nor can you effectively play them, or play your champion to deal with them, especially because I don't have Monstrous Penumbra. So I don't have Trample as a result. So I just choose not to play my champion and take all the damage on the pyre. I could have played the champion during the brief respite wave and should have done that, but instead I just didn't see it in time and ended turn before that happened, but it only lost like 5 seconds. Which, in a seeded run, I would absolutely recoup, but I did several seeded runs and couldn't get below about 425 or so. I don't think this seed is fast enough to really do the job. But now that I've gotten my Shadow Siege, I'm looking for Quick or Multi-Strike. I find Quick. Would have taken Multi-Strike if I had the money to do so, and I was almost able to reroll and do it, but not quite. And I'm glad I did not reroll, although there is actually Multi-Strike there, because I wouldn't have been able to afford it, thus dooming this run. But as it is, I've got a Shadow Siege with Quick, and I just throw down Penumbra here. In my seeded runs, I chose to torch out the conduit and end turn so that the Shadow Siege would kill it instead, but it's not a huge deal either way. And then I skip the Ember Banner. I always check in case there's another Shadow Siege when I do it unseeded, because that would speed up everything a huge amount. And then I get Multi-Strike, and so now I have a quick Multi-Strike Shadow Siege. And it's dataless, and with good patterns, I can kill him on the first or even the second turn. But unfortunately, I get quite bad patterns. And even if I had torched them here, I would have been unable to actually get through. And Daedalus would still have been at full health, or at least not quite dead. So instead I just end turn until he comes back to the second floor, and then just torch out the bomb. Which does the trick. Although it's certainly not ideal, it's not the worst thing I've had to deal with on one of these runs. And because my previous unseeded world record was done before I learned Enter Confirmation, it is just that much slower. I think Enter Confirmation loses about 20 seconds when not used. So this seed is roughly on the level of the other one, except I just now know something I didn't before. And the seeded times reflect that, because I only barely was able to get 423 on the previous seed that I had the 526 unseeded world record on. But not a great fight because it's conduits, but it's also better than the penances that I could otherwise be getting, so I don't really mind torching out the conduits so they don't skip my floor. All things considered, it's not as bad as it could be. I get another duplication, and the chance is there that only 2 of my Shadow Sieges end up on the second floor, and that's actually what happens, but thankfully it doesn't matter. 4 strikes is enough to kill anything in this fight, including the boss in 1 turn, so it really doesn't matter at all that I have 1 Shadow Siege still in my deck as opposed to a Train Steward. It's unlucky, but it doesn't do anything. So as you can see here, Harpy is just dead, and that means I don't have to deal with the quintuple attack animation, which is extremely slow. So here's my second Vortex, clearing out all the Train Stewards, and meaning that the Shadow Siegers are the only thing that's going to spawn from Sketches. And I know going into this fight that I have 1200 damage, so as soon as Fel comes onto the second floor, she's dead. Luckily, that happens turn 1, and that makes this fight incredibly fast. So now, the only thing I need to kill Seraph is a 4th Shadow Siege, so I know to skip everything else. And this is a particularly good improvement from my previous Shadow Siege unseeded runs, is that I now know exactly the damage thresholds I need to hit to kill each Seraph, which means I can skip all superfluous rewards if I know I'm going to have what I need by the time I get there. And because there's a guaranteed duplicate on the final floor, I can guarantee, without ever seeing anything, that I will have enough damage to kill Seraph. I can't kill Seraph the Temperate with 3 Shadow Sieges, because the sap will do just enough to let him survive on 59 health. But with 4 Shadow Sieges, I can easily dupe, and then without even having to torch the Light Wings, just kill. And that's what's going to happen here. Spawn the 4 Shadow Sieges, get sapped, and then immediately kill. You can see without that last Shadow Siege, it wouldn't have done the trick. And then immediately check the time, which is 4 minutes 54 seconds. That's even better than the world record I forgot to record, which was 5 minutes flat. And this is the first sub-5 minute unseeded run. I'm very excited to share it with you all, because this has been a milestone I've been wanting to reach for a while. I was just a bit scared of the sketches RNG, but it turned out to not be too bad. So with that, that's this run. If you enjoyed, please do like and subscribe, and if you didn't, please comment down below with what I can improve. Have a good one.